Here.
No, I'm not a writer.
Okay.
And here we go. This is Mike Lodge. I am the business advisor. Glad that you're here this morning. I'm looking out my windows at the moment, and it is dark outside. The sun has not started to come up yet. But soon it will be here, and then everybody, including you, that's going to be the time that you wake up and you start your day. Maybe you're already up, I don't know. But listen, because I know that a lot of you listen to me at all times of the day because you're in all different countries. So when it's my morning time here, it's nighttime over there in Asia. So it's an interesting life that we lead, isn't it? Well, I tell you, my hay fever is starting to kick in already. Flowers are so in bloom. I love the flowers in bloom, but they're so in bloom that pollen and the pollen that's coming off the trees, I'm afraid, are making me sneeze. So if I break down in a sneeze in this podcast, I totally apologize. But I can't control Mother Nature out there in this pollen-filled world. Many of you know that I've been out looking at trying to buy a car. You know, I'm doing this bucket list to go to the last 16 states, United States, and to be able to do the last 16, and I will have done all 50 states. My little car probably can't do it. It's old now, and it's making noises of its own. So I need to find a new car, but probably right now is not the right time. The economy has raised the cost of these cars significantly, and now we're starting to see them start to come down. And used cars are starting to come down. The reason why is because dealers are not able to finance some of these cars anymore. And some of them have too much inventory in their lots. No one's buying, so they've got lots of inventory. So I've often wondered what happens in the backside of a car dealership, right? Well, for a dealer, big or small, in order for them to purchase their cars, sometimes they go out, if they don't have enough cash flow, they go out in what is called a floor plan. And there are companies out there like Capital One and other companies that provide a floor plan. And what it is, it's a source of cash that they can go out and purchase cars. And there are certain rules that these people have to deal with. So the problem at the moment, car dealers are losing their floor plans. Capital One said, no, we're not going to do it anymore. So hold back because we're not going to fund floor plans at this moment. And because they see the writing on the wall, people are defaulting on their car loans. And it's a bad situation. We're going to see more and more. Probably what we'll see is that the car loan debacle is going to be just like the housing debacle in 2008. So get prepared for it. So anyway, they have these floor plans, and some of them are losing their floor plans at the moment, or they are being reduced. If they had a $250,000 floor plan, and if they haven't used the full $250,000, let's say they use $100,000, then they're down to $100,000. Well, that kind of limits the volume of cars that they can purchase. So what's going on is some of these cars purchased through a floor plan by the dealer are not selling. So instead of being on the lot, 13 days, they're now 60 days. Floor plans see that as a risk. So some of the floor plan companies have gone into the car dealership and said, okay, we're going to take some of your cars to auction, and we're going to auction it off. So let's say a car is worth $10,000 on the lot, but when it goes to auction, it may only be worth $5,000 or $6,000. The difference of that, because the the floor plan loan that was used to get that car in the first place of that $10,000 is now being sold at $5,000. So now the dealer owes the floor plan the difference. Now, car dealers don't really have the money. They don't have the money for that. That's why they have a floor plan. But now, since the situation is that these cars are sitting on the lots forever, these dealers are going to have to start moving cars sooner or later. Some of these dealers have been sending the cars to auction, but they're not getting what they want, so they take them back to the lot. Well, now they're at the point where they're going to have to start losing some money. And it's not a good thing to see. They've lost some of their floor plans. Some floor plan companies have said, nope, no more. We're not going to give you any more lines of credit. So we have a automobile situation that's developing here. Now, a lot of this is going to be good for me, the consumer, because these prices are going to go down. But it's also bad for me because now banks are not giving out car loans like they used to. Remember, during the pandemic, they were signing everybody up for car loans because they knew that they had that pandemic stimulus money coming in for quite some time. Do you realize that at some of these car auctions, auto auctions, that there are cars that have been repossessed by those who went out and used their stimulus check that still have the paper license tag on the back? They never went and got their cars registered. I find that hard to believe, but yeah, it's happening. That means that they went out, they bought a car, they had a $1,000 payment, and they said, forget it, I can't do it anymore. And now it's back. It's been repossessed, and now it's there at the auction. But they're not getting the dollar amount that they need to cover that expense. Now, we will see cars coming down, and they're coming down right now. So if you've got cash to spend, you'll get some good deals on used cars out there. Hopefully, the new car dollars are going to start coming down also. I mean, can you imagine going and buying a Jeep for $70,000? That's stupid. Absolutely stupid. I heard the other day that a Toyota Camry was going for $60,000. Who in their right mind would pay $60,000 for a Toyota Camry? It doesn't make sense, right? So we have a situation out there in the car industry where we need to watch it very closely. So if you are looking at buying a car on cash, in the next couple of months, you're going to see some good deals come your way. That's my prediction anyway. But now you understand what's happening on the backside of these dealers as they try to fund their cars to sell, and that the floor planners are coming in and taking the cars and taking them to auction, and the car dealers are having to pay the difference. That's a big deal, right? Just 1 second. That was a sneeze. Oh my gosh, this hay fever. I tell you, once it starts going, it's crazy. The other thing that really worried me this morning, I was reading an article. It was in Fortune magazine. And it said that Gen Z and Millennials are so broke that they're ruining their parents' retirement. In other words, these Millennials and these Gen Z people are having to borrow money from their parents. And some of it's coming from their savings account that they stashed away money in. And the other issue is that they're taking from their retirement plan, and they're not planning in the future. They're not paying down their debt because they're having to fund their children's miscalculations. Yeah, I'm gonna read just a few bars of this, okay? A majority of U.S. parents have made financial sacrifices to set their adult children up for success, many times at the expense of their own savings. Nearly 7 in 10 parents, 68%, with children 18 or older, have made at least one financial sacrifice to help out their kids, according to a recent survey from Bankrate of 2,346 U.S. adults, among whom 773 are parents. The most common financial hit? Emergency savings. Over half of parents surveyed say they dipped into their savings to help their adult children, with 1 in 5 making significant sacrifices. Nearly half have also put off paying down debt to provide support, and more than 2 in 5 parents reported helping at the expense of their retirement savings. Overall, about 16% of parents reported significantly putting off hitting their financial milestones in order to prioritize their children's financial needs. Millennials and Gen Z have both faced financial economic events in tenuous times in their lives. They have created financial challenges, the Great Recession and a global pandemic, respectively. Additionally, many younger adults and Americans also dealt with skyrocketing home prices and student loan debt at some point in or even throughout their 20s and 30s. The link is down in the show notes, okay? So you can read the whole report. But that's a significant situation that we're in, that young adults who are in a financial situation, maybe they bought a house that they could not afford, and that's what happened with a lot of you, especially during the pandemic. You bought these houses and cars that you could not afford, and you became a financial strain. Or you made some really bad decisions on what school you're going to, and you picked the most expensive school because it had the top-notch degree when you could have gone to another school and paid less money. So now you have college debt. That was a bad decision. You made a bad decision on the home that you purchased, on the car that you bought, and the education that you decided to go after. So you made some financial decisions, and now the parents are stuck helping you. And that's not good. So I just don't understand. Sometimes individuals in America become so self-centered that they take advantage of parents who saved, parents who worked hard, parents who struggled to keep their children in school, in their houses paid on time, in their tax bills paid on time. They had the responsibility to do that, and then comes the next generations, and they make bad decisions. Now, a part of that is because this is the way people live now. They don't think things through. They don't plan. They don't budget. They don't look at other boxes that they could be in that are less cheaper. That are cheaper, I mean. Less cheaper. That are cheaper. So now you got to start thinking. If you are a Gen X or a millennial, you need to stand up and you need to start sitting down and talking to advisors or coaches to get your life back on track. Because now you owe your parents. And that is a debt that you need to pay off. Listen, if you want to have more time with me and you'd like to sit down in a coaching session, you can go and schedule an appointment online at www.lodge.co.com. If you have a business question, you can send it to thebusinessadvisor at zmail.com. Z like in zebra. I hope everybody has a great day. Remember, you are responsible for your life and the decisions that you make. So sit down and let's start talking about those decisions. Love you guys. Bye-bye.